Hi all, welcome to another interesting video. Today we are going to understand the ETL using a real world banking example. Most of you know that ETL stands for extract, transform and load. But what happens behind the scenes? So just imagine you as a data engineer working for a banking client that processes around 20 million transactions. So let's dive into it. Have you ever wondered how bank generates a monthly statement for a customer? When you transfer money using an UPI or withdraw cash from an ATM or pay using your credit card or use any kind of mobile banking, everything appears correctly just in one statement. But behind the scenes, the data comes from many different systems. Large bank can process more than 20 million transactions every single day, and every system stores the data differently. But if we combine all of the data for the reports, it would be full of errors. So let's take a business scenario and understand how to get through this. Imagine you're working for HDFC banking client or ICICI banking client where it receives transaction data from six different systems. Can be ATM transactions, UPI payments, credit cards, branch banking, mobile banking, or internet banking. Each system was developed independently, which means that each one follows its own naming conventions, formats, and business rules. Even though they all represent the banking transaction, they don't speak the same data language. So, here is the challenge that arrives for a data engineer. So, suppose let's take a simple example. Same transaction with three different vocabularies. Suppose one system, that is ATM, calls it as a TXN ID, where the UPI system call it as a transaction number, whereas the credit card system tells it as a card TXN ID. The amount column also has three different names over here, where ATM calls it as an amount, whereas a UPI calls it as a value, and a credit card calls it as a TXN amount. Same thing with the status. ATM calls it as a status, UPI calls it as a payment status, and a credit card calls it as an approval. So the issues are piling up, right? Different field names, different date formats, duplicate records, and some cancel transactions also. Some systems, imagine with all these things, creating a financial report from a data like this. This is where our conflict starts, right? Let's take a very simple example through this scenario where the customer transfers 5,000 rupees and the transaction fails later. Like, let's see this 5,000 rupees transaction told in two different ways. A system A records the status as success and the time zone as IST and keeps in one record. Where there is another system, that is a system B, where records the statement as failed and the time zone is in UTC and copies two records. This is where the duplicate arrives. One system stored in IST and other system is stored in UTC. One system has one record, another accidentally stores two records. Now imagine the financial team asking which transaction is the actual one. So business cannot generate the trustworthy reports with this inconsistent data. So before loading, we need to clean this first. This is where the solution comes into picture, that is E, T, and L. First, we extract the data collect the data from ATM, UPI cards, branches, mobile or internet banking systems. Then we transform this data by standardizing the columns, removing the duplicates, converting the currencies, time zones, and validating it, and dropping all the failed transactions and masking the data. And in the last, we load it into the data warehouse where only clean, validated data is written into it. So let us understand the whole architecture in the banking systems in detail. So firstly, we will have the source systems, that is ATM, then we have UPI, then we have cards, then we have branch system, and all these sources are extracted using a ETL pipeline. So the first process is extracting the data from all the sources. The next step is the cleaning it. Then the next step would be to standardize it. Then the next step would be to validate it. Once this is validated, then the important step is to mask this data because all the banking details must be masked. This is the compliance of the data. So you need to follow all the steps. Then finally load it. So the process from cleaning till the masking of data is the actual transformation which takes place. So you have extracted the data and transformed the data, and next you will be loading it to the data warehouse. The data warehouse can be a SQL SQL Server or a Azure or a Snowflake. Then from here, the reporting team who develops the Power BI dashboards, the finance teams, or the risk teams, or the auditors or the executors see the actual data, which is clear and it is trusted. So, as an all in this architecture, only clean, validated, and the mass data will reach the warehouse where every downstreaming sees the same trusted numbers. That's the power of ETL. Now, so why don't we simply load everything and clean it later? In banking, that's risky. Financial reports must be accurate, not appropriate. Government regulations require valid data. So the data must be trusted before the decisions are made on it. And sensitive information must and protected. Banks cannot afford any incorrect reports. So in industries like banking, quality is always more important than speed. That is why the ETL is still widely used even today. Now, in order to see which companies or organizations are still running on this ETL process, ETL is not only just limited to banks. Most of the insurance companies use it, hospitals use it, government organizations use it. In fact, the industry where the compliance, security, and the accuracy matters, they all depend on ETL process every day. Whenever the incorrect data can lead to financial loss or legal issues, ETL becomes more essential. So the cost of a wrong number is real. So at last, in order to conclude or summarize this, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, where here key idea is simple. Transform the data before storing it. Instead of filling your data warehouse with messy data, ETL ensures that only clean, validated, and trusted data is stored. That means every dashboard, reports, and business decision is based on the reliable information. And that's why even today, ETL remains one of the most important concepts or the process that every data engineer should understand. So I hope you would have understood the complete ETL process. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.